Representative Orcutt, a lot has happened since your last video update 2 weeks ago. First, we had a Hirst solution signed into law. This bill addresses the flawed state Supreme Court decision that effectively prevented many rural property owners from drilling exempt wells and accessing water on their property. Tell us a little bit about this solution and what it means for these property owners.
Well, this is a very critical solution that we got, and I think it's one that for the vast majority of people it's going to be beneficial. One of the things it did was it gave some certainty to those who have already drilled wells. And for those who hadn't, who have a piece of property who want to build a home, they're now going to be able to get a permit and get a well, whereas before it was very much in question as to whether or not they could. There are some limits on it. The previous exempt well rules said you could have up to 5,000. In some areas, they'll still be able to get up to 5,000. In other areas, it'll only be 3,000. And in some areas, only 950. But that's 950 gallons a day. Most households don't even come close to using that kind of water. So the other ones where it's 3,000 and 5,000 is way more than enough. So they're in very, very good situation. And the 950 is good too. I didn't like the fee that went along with it, but my feeling on that is that without the Hirst fix, they would have probably been paying $5,000 for a hydrological expert to come in and maybe not even give them what they needed. May not have sufficed under the Hirst ruling. Now they're going to have to pay a fee, a $500 fee, but that's way better than the $5,000 fee they would have been paying to a consultant. So this gives them certainty, although there's some cost to it. I think the cost is less than what it was when the Hirst decision was in effect. So I think this is a really big and important win for rural property owners.
Switching gears, the second big thing that happened is the capital budget. This is often called the construction budget, and it funds important projects across our state. Tell us what this budget will mean for the 20th district and the communities that you represent.
There's a number of projects. None of them are huge projects, but a lot of them are $500,000, $750,000, $1 or $2 million to do a variety of different things. In Southern Cowlitz County, we have the Scott Hill Park down in Woodland. There's $750,000 to start moving forward on that. There's money to work on fish hatcheries in Kalama. And as we get further north into Lewis County, there's a whole host of projects. Children's Discover Museum. There's improvements being made at Green Hill. The Agricultural Business Park that we're trying to get going in southern Thurston County to try and help our agricultural producers in that area. So there's a variety of things that are recreational, they're natural resources based, they're education based, and they're economic development based. And so there are some really good projects that this is going to help us do throughout our district.
In closing, you introduced House Bill 2749. It would provide options to rural counties to bring broadband to underserved areas. Can you tell us a little bit about that bill?
Yeah, basically what it does is the county already can keep 0.09% of the state portion of the sales tax. So when sales are made within a county, 6.5% sales tax is state sales tax. Anything above the 6.5% is county, city, local jurisdictions. But of the 6.5% that would go to the state, the county gets to keep a portion of that for economic development purposes. My bill just says there's an additional 0.05 of that currently collected sales tax that they could keep in their county, and it would go to build out the infrastructure to start bringing service to those areas that either are underserved or not served at all, that have very poor internet service. And it's designed very specifically for what's referred to as last mile. Those areas that don't have adequate internet would now have infrastructure out there to start getting adequate internet. It doesn't double up, it doesn't duplicate what's being done in the incorporated areas or the more populous areas. It is strictly for those more rural, last mile, underserved or unserved individuals.